So for those of you who are new to this channel, which is probably most of you, today I thought that I would document a bit more about who I am. At the beginning of this year, I really told myself that I wanted to start documenting more my life, and funny enough, I haven't really done that. I think I've been caught up in the idea that really when I think about sharing things about myself, I really stop myself and ask, is anyone really gonna care? But I really forgot about myself in that process. I forgot that I care. That was something that I wanted to do for myself, and I haven't really done that. As much as I preach the idea of not letting other people's opinions dictate what you do with your life, it's sometimes hard to embody that yourself. It's actually hard to take your own advice when it comes to these things. But in the end, I really believe that no matter how long something takes, as long as it eventually gets done, you're on the right track. If I learned one thing this year is that it's a slow process. Getting to where you want to be in life is such a slow process, and that even comes with just starting something. You'll have to battle all the internal struggles to just eventually decide to do the thing and put other people's opinions aside and just go for it. And I'm really excited to start actually documenting more of my daily life, and I'm really excited to be able to look back on these memories in the future and kind of see how things have changed. I think that's always an interesting exercise to do. So this year there's been so many new adventures and changes in my life. One of them being that I moved out for the first ever time in my life, living on my own in my very first apartment. So I really wish that I started documenting my life more at the beginning of this year, because there's been so many exciting and challenging new changes in my life. For my whole life, I've lived in the same home, and the thought of moving out was such a scary one to me. I didn't know if I could survive out there by myself. And I know that feels weird to say now, because now that I've lived by myself for a while, it just seems like my new normal. It's not that scary anymore. I also joined a new company as a software engineer, and yet I'm still relatively new to this industry and this field as a software engineer. So the process of joining a new company, also being less experienced than other people, has been quite interesting. I've been learning a lot this whole year. Maybe if I was more experienced in the field, it would have been easier to juggle everything at once. I've been navigating life mostly by myself at the moment. I basically spend most of my days alone. But speaking of that job, I actually have a daily stand-up to go to and give my updates on my coding tasks. So we'll need to get back to it a bit later in the day. Essentially, what I wanted to talk about before having all these meetings and just the workday in general going by was I want to talk about imposter syndrome. And really what I want to talk about this is because I've been feeling it throughout this year so much. Like starting a new job, especially in software engineering, I've been feeling like such an imposter. I still have a lot of things to learn, but I really think this applies in all aspects of your life. And this doesn't have to just be professional. It could honestly go in anything, like feeling like an imposter. And essentially what I learned this year about imposter syndrome is that I don't think it ever goes away. I think that with time, it can get less intense, but I really think that if you're seeking to put yourself in more uncomfortable situations, that there'll always be a sense of imposter syndrome. And I think for me right now is I'm trying to get comfortable with that feeling. And I know that if I'm feeling like an imposter somewhere is because I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone and I'm trying to do something that is hard. And truly, that's really what I've been trying to do this year, is step out of my comfort zone and try new things. I'm trying to do things that in my subconscious mind, I never really thought that I was capable of doing. And I've been doing those things. I'm building up this track record of proof to show myself that I'm capable of doing the things that are hard. Because I really think that comfort is really the killer of dreams. If you seek out being comfortable in your life, I think you'll always be navigating away from the things that are really meant for you. Because the things that are really meant for you, I really think that they are hard. I really think that nothing that is worth doing comes easy. And also just creating content is extremely difficult. I find creating content extremely demanding, but it's also extremely rewarding. I love the process of making videos, although it's a very demanding one. And subconsciously, I always had this belief that just documenting my life wasn't the way to go about content creation. I think that navigating your life gets really messy sometimes, which is really why I think it's great to document these times. And it might just help you, and at least I think it's helping me, just enjoy the uncertainty, enjoy the mess that is going on in my head right now, and kind of show others that it's normal. These are the days that you might look back on and really appreciate that you went through these messy, confusing day. Because once you have clarity, if that ever comes, which I hope it does, I think you can only appreciate it because you've had so much uncertainty in your past. I'm really starting to realize that life can be so simple, and life should be so simple. When you start tuning in to really who you are and really what you want, start filtering out the external voices and that self-doubting voice that you have inside you that's telling you that you can't or you shouldn't, then things start to become a lot more enjoyable. I'm realizing that I should really start just enjoying the simplicity of life. And I know it might be hard nowadays when we always think that our life is boring, we should be doing more, we see other people living their best lives on social media. And I know that for me, that really got to me. If I look at my day-to-day life is really simple. I love having my morning coffee in my own space, and most of my days is spent on a computer coding, which I do enjoy doing. And in the evening, I enjoy making videos as a hobby. That's basically what I enjoy doing. But in the grand scheme of things, when you think about my life, it might not seem that exciting. And that's what I always thought about my life until I really broke it down and started realizing that, but I enjoy everything that I'm doing. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying discovering more about myself in this season of my life. And that, I really need to remember that more. So if you're going through the same thing, start enjoying all the little things in your life. Nothing needs to be spectacular or over the top for you to have a great life. As long as you're doing the things you want to do for yourself, it becomes really easy to start enjoying the process. And ultimately, it's a really slow process. To start tuning in to who you really are and who you really want to be doesn't happen overnight. Think of it like you're building something. So you're building the life that you really want over time. So you're changing things about yourself, about your circumstances, maybe your job, your hobbies, the people around you over time. You don't change everything at once. I'm starting to get back into things that I used to enjoy. The things that I put aside because I thought that those weren't the things that I should be doing as I grow older. And an example of that is video games. I used to stream on Twitch, and I tried streaming on Twitch full time for about 9 or 10 months. And I did build a community on there when I was younger in my 20s. Those were the best days of my life. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to be resilient enough in my mind to keep going. But I realized at this point in my life that I need to get back to things that I really enjoy doing. But I'm slowly changing pieces about myself. I'm slowly building that life that I really want to live. So things don't happen overnight. And I know that I felt stuck at the beginning of this year because I felt like I had to change everything at once. And I realized that the beauty is that there's no rush. So if you can take away something from this video, remember that there's no rush to change everything at once. Things will fall in place with time. So if you're feeling stuck right now, do not worry. This is all part of the plan. And if you want to jump on this journey of documenting my life with me and figuring things out and really just enjoying the process of things, then consider subscribing. I would love to have you here on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.